Modern businesses like Pepsi-Cola have moved into the wide world. The wide world where landscape mingle. The world was once hidden behind the mask of distance. But trade and travel have brought everything next door to everything else. A world where everything goes on at the same time. What will we find if we stand on the street corners of the world, journey everywhere at once, and look at our world next door? Before we could fly faster than sound, we lived in a world of unknown lands. To many, a city like New York was an imaginary place. A city with buildings hung in the sky. And people in a hurry. Today, we see a world varied, but not remote. A jazz musician and a lady from the Western Plains. It is all a matter of how we look. Do all New Yorkers rush? You can't be elegant on the run. You can't rush a joke. The world looks different standing on street corners. A window cleaner in love. What is our world like? Who are our neighbors? New York is one good place to start looking. A city with its face to many nations. People come here from all countries to a piece of international land, the United Nations. From here, we can go out to everywhere. People are still strolling on the streets of New York while we turn a corner to a bocce game in Venezuela. Some luck, skill, and remote control. That's bocce. bocce player reads the world's news on his way to work on a lake of 10,000 oil wells. Nodding robots, remote controlled. Experience and nothing left to luck. That's oil. Oil turns almost instantly to money. Money can make a lot of things. Bolívar Square, Caracas. From oil long locked underground, a new metropolis. Businesslike, busy, and chic. The people of Venezuela come from everywhere to enjoy a new life. A modern capital in a pioneer land. A country club for rich rancheros, cattlemen, and their admiring ladies. Toros coleados, to grab a bull by the tail and try to throw him. Millionaires at play. Wild pleasures. Wide plains. A step across an ocean and the flat-topped fever trees of East Africa, the home of many tribes. The people called Maasai, also cattle raisers. Nomads, their home is the African earth. Proud of a warlike past. Proud of their beautiful women. What is familiar is strange, and what is strange is familiar to someone else. To enter manhood, the Maasai once had to kill a lion. But now there are few lions left to kill. The ritual is turned to dust. The pride of lions reduced to the memories of old men. Another ceremony 50 miles away. A Texas family on safari with white hunter. After tea, perhaps they will hunt for the vanishing lion. But not the kingly lions of their youth. More ritual. Here live the mysterious English, whose customs have puzzled the world for centuries. They've had many centuries to complicate the puzzle. the ceremonial bowler hat. Centuries of absolute assurance shaped them, as well as the men under them. Peaceful landscape of the Philippines, the gentle carabao. Musical Tagalog language. Beautiful women. In different landscapes, universal work, familiar play. Less familiar play. In the Philippines, young men leave fighting to the birds. In Manila, the jeepney buses are built for four. But musicians lead a charmed life. The tickling bird lives in the Philippine rice fields. The Tinikling Dance shows the way he hops. Rhythms of play. Rhythms of work. The porter's trade is as old as the mountain carvings behind him in Iran. Priceless Persian rugs, unrolled against the sun. In Persia, the rug cleaners are tireless. The rugs, indestructible. The cleaning plant is the mountain and the hot spring. Wet rugs are heavy, but in a rhythm of slow precision, the tiring work is done. And in the end, a new landscape is painted. Landscape of the caravan trails to Tehran. The language is Farsi, the product international. In Persia, the complications of modern life mingle easily with customs of the past. Some women still accept the hidden face of yesterday. Persian ladies, yesterday and today. just 2 hours outside of Tehran.
Fire, 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 fire. Fire,
Men of Ghana, on the Atlantic side of Africa. Stevedores going to work. 1 mile out to sea. The men compete for cargo. The more they bring ashore, the more they earn. Soon, Ghana will have a modern port. The men who now carry 450 pounds in one load will go on to other tasks. Ghana is a new nation. Young, energetic, sophisticated. The high life is a dance of the hips and the eyes. What is our world like? Germany, the Rhineland, a fairy tale country of hobgoblins, Rhine maidens, poltergeists, and enchanted castles. Impregnable toll stations, once owned by robber barons, ruled the treacherous waters of the Rhine. There is still danger. Commerce must be shepherded by men in little boats, river pilots, skilled as the Ghana boatmen in the waves of an inland sea. Some places seem made for legend. Other rivers, other dreamlands. Thailand, once called Siam, a land of rice farmers and water and Buddhist monks. From the country, you flow to the city on canals or klongs. Through friendly side streets and the market routes. To the swirling center of Bangkok. The streets belong to everyone, and everyone finds them useful. It is easy to keep cool and clean in the klong, and bathing is a public and neighborly thing to do. the Temple of the Dawn, tallest of 3,000 temples in Bangkok. The day begins and ends in prayer. Temple yards make quiet playgrounds. From the warm and water-wound world of the Klong to the end of the earth, Sydney, Australia, a harbor of stone and steel in a climate that's never cold. Many children think that in the land down under, the people stand on their heads. But they really only do it for fun. Play and pleasure from Thailand to Land's End. Who are our neighbors? What is our world like? The islands of the Caribbean. A mangrove swamp in Trinidad. Jungle fishermen on their way to work. The swamp is home to the Scarlet Ibis and to oysters that grow on trees. A 1,000 oysters on a branch, 1,000 ways to make a living. Limbo is a dance of fertility. It's both an art and a challenge. Each time the dancer passes under the bar, it is lowered another notch. Limbo is danced mainly at wakes. Cherry blossoms mean peace and purity in the tradition of Japan. In Japan, life is a continual crossing back and forth between a world that is purely Japanese and another they call Western style. Like dolls under glass, the past is cherished and tenderly preserved. Everyone from the office goes on holiday at the same time. Pleasure multiplies with numbers. The Japanese believe in togetherness. Old style, new style. The Japanese is an enthusiast. At almost any cost. It is the good fortune of the Japanese that he can walk in two worlds at once, and ours that we can move instantly from one world to another. Spain. A game of death. To the veteran torero, bullfighting is not a game, but a trade. Refinement and grace are his defenses against death in the afternoon. Hong Kong. The world looks different standing on street corners. In Hong Kong, everybody carries something. Some comforts are enjoyed through the labor of others. Some pleasures are enjoyed through the comfort of others. So many different people in so many different places. Ballet school in Mexico. Little Pavlovas with Indian faces. In small schools and great ones, people are learning each other's ways. The University of Mexico. Everywhere, greater opportunities to learn. The lesson can be a game. Getting to know the stranger can be the greatest game of all. But it takes boldness. The schoolyard, waiting for the bell. For some, making friends is hard. For others, easy. Looking into our past, we see a world that was foreign and remote. Today, we see a world varied, but not strange. Everywhere people are looking, across time and distance. Across customs and cultures. Looking at each other, looking at far places. It is all a matter of how we look. Our likenesses are clear, but differences remain and enrich our lives. Today, in the great and wonderful world next door, it is possible for life to be a celebration of close and distant friends.